Hi everybody, it's me, Kinda Beyond Measure. Today I'm over by my favorite tree, over getting my dirt from where I get my worms and my dirt. And as you can see, the soil is very black. Do you see how black this stuff is? It is so rich over here because it is a natural area where leaves are dead and all kinds of stuff like that. So the worms are automatically underneath it. This is a scoop of dirt that I got from this side over here where I come and collect my worms. Look, all the worms in the one scoop. It's got like 3 or 4 worms. One of them literally just jumped into the pot. See, he's already in there. Basically, I got for free what people go and buy, and from the store, like a whole area where all of the stuff decomposes and you don't have to worry about all of the nutrients inside of it and the hormone growth things and stuff like that. I got it over here across the road for free. People think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I'm resourceful. I go in my backyard all the time. There are tons of big sticks and stuff like that that's back there. And I've made natural trellises and things like that for my viney plants to climb and stuff like that. Because all we got is a bunch of broken sticks and stuff that look like they have forks in it. One of the things that is actually very interesting about my garden is that I don't go buy a lot of plants just with regular money. I buy a lot of them with food stamps. So either I take the food and I harvest the seeds straight out of those things that I eat, like bell peppers and stuff like that. And I'll harvest the seeds and I'll use it. It trips me out when people are like, oh, I want to start a garden, but I got to go buy some dirt. Why? When they tell me they go buy worms from the store in the bait section, I'm like, why? When I post gardening videos and I'm just picking up worms like it's normal, they are freaking out in the comments like, she's touching the worms. I'm like, duh, you have to, so that they can actually just, so you can pick up the worm and not just anything else. I do have gardening gloves. Let me tell you what they're good for and what they're not good for. They're good as in, if I want to pick up humongous amounts of dirt at a time just using my hands, they're awesome for that. However, there have been plenty of times where I was using my gloves and I got a little tiny bug inside of my glove and it bit me. And because it was trapped, it kept biting me in different areas of my hand until I finally took off the gloves. Look at the swelling on my hands because of gardening gloves. Now, I put on some witch hazel, basically, and a little bit of ice to calm it down a little bit so it won't be, but it doesn't take away the itch, okay? So what I usually do is I put my oil on there. It'll still feel itchy a little bit, but it's not that bad anymore after a while. Those dumb ants are not going to stop me from getting my worms and my dirt for my compost, though. They can kiss my seedlings. See, this is my Sweet 100 pot, and that's going to be tomatoes. This is the tree branch I found that was going to just naturally let the Sweet 100 just hang off of them because they climb up and then they grab on, and then the tomatoes drape down after they climb up and hang on. So today I got a reward. My neighbor gave me a muscadine plant, and it didn't have the roots where he cut it. It's just a cutting, and it was 2 of them. One of them is a small branch, and then the other one is a very, very thick branch. Apparently you can naturally root it by putting it directly into the soil, so that's what I'm doing. And I filled up this big container that another neighbor gave me, and I put this tree branch behind it so that it can naturally cascade on and drape on it. Once again, I use woodland situation. My landlord went to the back of this fence back here and he cut a couple of the trees. However, I had a big wisteria plant that was choking the life out of the trees, and so now I have this big tree inside of the yard. We killed the wisteria because it's an invasive plant, so now the wisteria is dead, but the tree is still there. However, the branches that my landlord cut prior to me getting here are all over the place in the back. And I usually collect them, and what's growing in this pot is a cantaloupe. So when it starts to do its thing, I'm gonna put it on top of these branches right here so that it could just naturally hang, and I could have my fruit to hang on there. Right behind it, what you see is a little teepee area that I created. Same out of the same sticks. I didn't buy anything from the store here. All I did is take the sticks, gather them together, make holes. This is gonna be a watermelon. I put some, paper, some stuff down, basically an old bed sheet from the hospital, and then I cut it, and I'm gonna keep on piling some dirt on top of there. So when I start seeing my first few sprouts and stuff like that, and it starts getting really big, I'm gonna put more dirt down there so that it can establish more. And after that, it's just gonna be what it is. I'm gonna have me a watermelon. Faith's bed just messed up one time, and I was just sick of it. So after a while, it was just we just couldn't even keep it held together. So I just used the headboards because my squash are gonna vine out. And once my squash vine out, they're going to be up on this board. And I'm gonna just wrap them up there, or just teach it to, get up there so that it can just hang on these bed boards. And right now what I have is these sweet peas inside of these pots, and they're gonna wrap up around it. As you can see, this one is already finding its way to the bedboard so that it can, wrap around, and it grows towards the structures. So when these start to get even bigger, these sweet peas will be gone. They'll be already harvested, done, dead. The compost bin is, I'll say, my kids' favorite spot. They get their beach pails and their shovels, and they play in the dirt, and they play with the worms. And it's permission. It's permission to explore Earth. It's permission to play in the dirt. It's sensory. It helps them get the feels out that they need. To me, this is better than slime. As you can see, I got the night crawlers. They're huge, but they love to dig in the dirt and stuff like that, and it's just fun. And the best thing about it is I don't really need more worms. I only need a few, and they'll reproduce in here, but I still love to collect them and put them inside of my good compost. So today I got a surprise because I was actually trying to grow some flowers last year when Nerissa's garden first started. And unfortunately, that plant just stalled and stalled and stalled. And today, I guess it woke up over the winter. They got wintered. And then after they finished getting wintered, they woke up and they started getting these buds on them. So today I woke up to this. See, isn't that beautiful? And as you can see, it has a whole bunch of buds on it. So this is not going to be the only flower sitting around. And when I identified it with my AI assistant, my co-pilot, it said that it's a perennial. So it's not a plant that dies off and never comes back. It comes back every year, and I'm so excited because now I can add that to my list of perennials that I do have inside of my garden, like my strawberries and stuff. In addition to the vine plant that my neighbor gave me, he gave me these, I think they're called hostas or something. They're beautiful. He said that they create these pink flowers or something like that. He said that these plants was given to him by his auntie, and he's an older gentleman. And he said that the plant is over 30 years old, and he just took a piece of it when he was, first moving into his own place or whatever. And he potted it, and he gave me a piece of it. So it really means a lot to me because I never inherited anything physical before from anybody that had this much meaning. Now, you're probably wondering what this structure is for. It's a trellis. The reason that it's there is because I'm growing morning glories, and morning glories vine up and grab onto everything. So I wanted to have a structure to hold on to. It'll be beautiful once it blooms. I'm also growing a sunflower for my friend, and it's getting huge. That's all I wanted to show you guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye.